like he has shown us in these last 2 episodes. Like, have we been bamboozled? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Comfort. Thank you so much for being with me today. As you can see, is a challenge recap part 2, y'all. Guys, I have to first of all apologize. Y'all are not gonna believe. I know I already said it in the description of my last video. I'll probably put a comment also. Guys, y'all, first of all, let me shout out to Sonia. I think her name is Sonia Kenny. My good sis, Sonia Kenny. The way this mommy brain is set up, y'all, I watched the first part. I only watched the first part of episode 18, and I didn't even think to myself like, wow, this is actually really short. I was just like, okay. Y'all, shout out to all the moms watching this. Shout out to having 2 young boys. Shout out to just all the things that we have to do and put in place. Like, I record these videos in the middle of the night, y'all. So when I watched it, I don't know why, after the elimination, I turned my TV off and I had to tend to my boys because they were doing some type of craziness, and I just had to, and I didn't even, and thank you, Sonia, for pointing that out. Like, I would have been in the wilderness, and I was wondering why I was seeing people saying, which cell are you going for? I'm like, hello, it's individuals, child, y'all. Thank you so much, Sonia. So yes, as promised, this is part 2, supposed to be the original, but we're here. Okay, we moved. All right, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for more challenge content. Like I said, as promised, I will be bringing some top 10s, top 5s, challenge moments, our top 10 favorite challengers of color, favorite moments of women, just a bunch of favorite moments that I want to bring in this holiday season. You know, let's give the gift of recognition, give the gift of inclusion, you know? So yes, stay tuned for that. Hit the post notification bell so you'll be notified when I post those videos. And let's get into this recap, y'all, the full recap. So this is after the elimination, as y'all who watched it know, right? So basically Nelson is talking to Devin, right, about Tori trying to help Emmanuel when she just got through telling Emmanuel to not put Devin in, and Devin is kind of acting, you know, lackadaisical about it. Like, he's not really too upset about it, presumably because he wants to run the final with Tori. And Nelson is like, yeah, I was the only one like really standing up for you, and I kept seeing her over there trying to give Emmanuel the stuff on the low. Like, y'all, we seen Tori was doing a lot. It was absolutely ridiculous and just didn't make any sense to me. Like, girl, what are you doing? So that was ridiculous. And Devin is basically was like, yeah, you know, I noticed her doing that, and that Tori, you know, it's not possible for me and Emmanuel to win, but we got to put all that aside for the final, basically, right? So then, y'all, we pan to the couch, aka Casey and Nani, you know, cuddling, canoodling, talking about how they're so happy they made it to the final together, and that their dream was to run it together and win together, and that would be so badass. And, you know, they do just all their couple stuff that, you know, we don't care about. So then we pan to Emmy talking to Devin and CT, who's grilling something up, and apparently CT's like a really good cook, by the way. Shout out to having a grill. I just got a grill, and our Christmas is probably gonna be so lit because we're grilling stuff. I'm so excited. But anyway, shout out to all the Nigerians that know about suya fresh from the grill. Yes, it's happening. My Christmas dreams are coming true. But Emmy is basically telling Devin and CT that she couldn't have made it to the final without them, and that they always supported her and had her back, and it was just a nice moment, and that she really just didn't want to disappoint anybody, and she's so happy and so grateful, and, you know, the whole usual thing. So then we pan to Nelson and Tori. So Tori comes in on Nelson. Nelson is in an ice bath, right? And Nelson is basically like, you know, we can put all that aside and let's just go to this final. Let's win this final. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, let's focus, right? And so Tori is basically asking Nelson, what is your reason for wanting, like, what would you do with the money, right? And Nelson says that he wants to build his mom a manicure and pedicure salon called Medina's Pedicures, Manicures and Pedicures, right? Because he was a knucklehead and he wants to, you know, give it to her. And Tori says the reason that she's fighting so hard to win is because she wants to prove to herself that she can do it without a man, right? That she can do it all on her own without having a boyfriend. I mean, girl, you still had some boy trouble and we're still a little bit boy crazy and still had some drama that had to do with boy. But all in all, it's not like you were attached to a man that helped you get to the end. So I understand what she's saying. So basically then CT, Nani, Devin, and Kyle are talking, and CT's like, what are you gonna miss most about being in this house and in this room? And Kyle is like, I'm looking forward to being a dad, right? Like a new dad. And I'm like, oh, that's nice to hear. Like, you know, that's really what he's looking forward to, and that he has to win this money so that he can obviously provide for his child. So y'all, then they get to the final grounds, right in front of TJ. He's in front of this helicopter, and TJ basically says that this final is obviously going to test you in ways. This is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. You know, the whole threatening, you're going to be tested. It's going to be unexpected. So stay ready. So you ain't got to get ready, you know? So he basically tells them that there are different checkpoints that they have to complete, like every normal final. And once they get to that checkpoint, they have a series of things that they need to do to get to the next checkpoint, right? So basically, it's a race to get on this helicopter. So before they get to the helicopter, they have to race to this set of puzzles they have to complete. Once they complete and assemble the puzzle. So once the puzzle is complete, then they race to the helicopter. Once they get to the helicopter is going to take them over the water, drop them in the water. They ride this little jet ski thing to the land, put on their clothes before they can go off to their next checkpoint, right? Y'all, so they start running, and the run is pretty solid, you know, as expected. You know, Team CT is up front, like we're first, right? So CT's first. Nelson is right behind him though. Tori's behind him. So basically, the first puzzle that they get to, CT and Nelson get there first, right? So they get to the puzzle, y'all, and it's a puzzle of the world, basically. And so they have to assemble this world puzzle and put the different countries where they belong, and then race to the helicopter. So obviously CT does this first, and then Nani, this is what I found so, like, I don't understand. Nani gonna say, oh, CT was dumb and didn't knock down his puzzle, and I'm gonna take full advantage of that and basically copy what he did. Y'all, Nani, who said she was gonna copy CT, who got it, y'all know Nani ended up being last. Everybody passed up Nani. Kyle passed her up, everybody passed her up, and Nani ended up being last. Like, girl, what happened? I know y'all didn't have different puzzles, because I think they all had the same puzzle, so I was confused. Maybe there was a little bit of a difference or something. I don't know. I know CT fully left his puzzle there, but Nani still was last. So that was weird, and like, what? See what you get when you try to cheat? But so they race to the helicopter. CT and Tori are first. Tori finishes second, then Nelson and Devin. So then the funny thing is that Nelson is screaming and yelling when he gets to the helicopter, and CT is like, Nelson is screaming and yelling like he won the final. Like, dude, we have like 2 more days of this. Relax. Like, cool your jets. I know Po Baby's so excited. He ain't never been to a final before, child, and he finally got this little final, so he's just excited. So basically, it's CT and Tori in a helicopter, then Devin and Nelson, then Kyle and Casey, and then Nani and Emmy are in that last helicopter, right? And y'all, this is just a sidebar. I know y'all know about the drama. That video is coming up also in like a day, maybe today. I just found it uncomfortable that Tori was over there holding on to married ass CT's arm. I just, you know, Tori's, like, I understand that it probably didn't mean anything, and it's probably just scary because Nelson and Devin were holding hands too, child. But I'm just saying, girl, like, just minimize the touchation and minimize the flirtation, because CT is fine now. So let's not act like she was just holding the arm of some like guy, you know. So I just pointed that out, and I'm like, girl, I was looking like, girl, if I was CT's wife, I'd be like, ma'am, we know how you do, like, hands to yourself, thanks. So finally, so they get dropped off the helicopter, right? So CT, Tori even passes up CT a little bit on the little jet ski that they have to ride in the water. So they finally get to land. Then the last to get to land obviously are Nani and Emmy, and so they all get to land, right? So at this point, CT and Nelson and Tori, CT and Tori mostly, are really like in the lead. They're the ones to beat, right? So then they start racing to the next checkpoint, y'all, and it's like that rocky, the one that Casey fell on and was behind on, child. Yeah, so it's like a rocky hill thing that they have to run up. So CT's going, he's in first place, but Nelson passes him up a couple feet, but he does pass him up though. So I'm like, okay, Nelson, all right, come on, black man, you better run. So basically, CT and Nelson, they get to the next checkpoint, right? So the next checkpoint is another puzzle. Devin gets there and he's like, yes, this is my strength, this is my time to catch up. I'm sorry, let me just say, Devin does get this puzzle first, right? Before CT, before anybody. However, he struggled on the map puzzle, okay? He was, I think, 4th place, like Nelson beat him. So I just feel like, I don't know about this puzzle master thing for Devin. Like, I really am like, he hasn't beat enough puzzles. He hasn't been superior in enough puzzles for me to keep giving him him that title. I'm like, no, I think you're average at puzzles. I think you lucked up and you didn't. Emmanuel beat you at a puzzle, and that puzzle seemed very simple. So like, I don't really think he should be in that category anymore. I think he's just, oh, he's fine. He's okay. Like, he's not the worst. He's maybe the second or third best, but he's not the puzzle master. You know what I mean? So did get this puzzle. It was that wire puzzle. He did get it before CT. And so when they race to the next checkpoint is actually the cell layout, right? So it's a purple cell and an orange cell. And you have to select which cell that you're basically going to run the final with until TJ says otherwise. So Devin gets on the purple cell. Then CT comes in shortly after him, and he gets on the purple cell because he's like, it would be nice to have somebody else who's good at puzzles too. This could really be good. And I think him and Devin have a good relationship too. So CT ends up being on the same cell with Devin. And then next is Tori finishes the puzzle, and they're like, bet. Tori, like, she's one of the strong girls in the house. And then Emmy finishes the puzzle next, and then she joins, and they're happy, and they're like, yes, we're stacked. We got Emmy and Tori, who are two strong girls, and then CT and Devin, who are really good at puzzles, and CT's good at everything, right? So they're good. So then Kyle gets it next, then Nelson, then Nani, and last is the couch. I'm like, and she's like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I can, sis. I can. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Casey's a strong competitor, okay? I'm not gonna take that away from her, even though I think she's the snake, whatever, even though I think she's like undercover, shady. She's a strong competitor. I just think that she, like, her overhyping herself, like, people seem to think she's very humble. I don't see humble in her. I see like pretending, but I don't see humble. I think she thinks she's better than all the girls there, and she's not. Like, she has weaknesses too. So anyway, she was last. And so basically TJ says, trust me, you do not want to be in the last place cell after today. That it's going to be, you're going to be tested and tried. So basically you are competing as cells from then on until he says otherwise. And Nelson is upset because he's like, I play an individual game. I'm better as an individual. And he was doing pretty good so far by himself. So I can understand that he was stuck on Team Ruby for a while. So I see, you know, he's having some trauma. So we'll see how this plays out. But yes, guys, that was it for the episode. Finally, I'm so sorry once again, y'all. I'm bringing this to you as a part 2. But what do y'all think about this Devin? I feel like he should not have like Puzzle Master anymore. Like, I think he should just, like, he's just a regular. He's regular like everybody else. He may be a mastermind. He may be good at like manipulating and talking a good game, or like even like logically knowing whose strengths and weaknesses are where. But as far as Puzzle Master, like, I don't. CT, you can guarantee 10 times out of 10, he's gonna get the puzzle first, most likely, or second. Devin, it's not guaranteed. Like, he has shown us in these last 2 episodes. Like, have we been bamboozled? Because it's just because he beat Johnny on that little puzzle, but Johnny was very, very close. It wasn't that far. It's not like he wiped Johnny out. He didn't. Like, Johnny could have won too. It was like 1 or 2 lights away, if y'all remember. So let me know what you guys think about that below. Let me know your thoughts on them playing as cells. Who do you have your money on? I feel like I know what you're gonna say. I mean, any cell that CT is on, I mean, that's the winning cell in my opinion. Like, let's just come on, let's be real with this. Let's be real, okay? All right, y'all. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the post notification bell so you will be notified when I post a reaction to that Tori drama, y'all. Because in case y'all didn't know, let me just bring you the tea, honey. And shout out to y'all bringing me all this good information. Let me give another shout out. I already shouted out my good sis Sonia Kinney, because she's the reason that this video is happening. Shout out to IsRock20, always coming with the good information. She's the one that told me about the Leroy thing. She's the one that has just told us about, I think she was one of the people that told us about why Ashley got kicked out. Now she's telling us about what happened with Amanda, and Amanda having apparently an issue where she had to get back home because she had some custody issues with the father of her child, and that MTV wasn't willing to work with her, and that's why she was okay and told everybody that it's fine for them to throw her in because she had to get back home. And so everybody shouldn't really feel that bad about Amanda, but that MTV should cut more slack. Yeah, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Let me know if you're a male or female, or it doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for all the good information, all the quality, factual information. I appreciate you. Mwah. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.